tell the native population that civilization is fine. And three educated savages holler from a bamboo tree that civilization is a thing for me to see.
So in this video, we're going to be thinking about that term civilization. So the first big question we need to be able to answer is, what is a civilization? And then, what are some of the limitations with using the term or the concept of civilization? Maybe that intro song gave you a little hint about some of the potential limitations of relying on that term civilization. So the first question we need to be able to answer is, what is a civilization? So a civilization, for purpose of this class, is a society that has advanced cities with oftentimes large monumental pieces of architecture at the center. It has complex institutions, meaning it has some form of government, a system of laws. We start to see the creation of various religious traditions within civilizations. It has some form of writing or record keeping. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a written language. It can, for instance, be some form or way of keeping track or records, a system of writing or record keeping. It has specialized workers, so it has people who are doing jobs other than hunting and gathering or farming. So it has people who are warriors or artisans. And then finally, for something to be a civilization, it has to have some form of advanced technology. So you can see on this list many of the technologies that were developed during this period, like the pyramids, like chariots, like the alphabet. And all of these advanced technologies, or many of them, were utilized by various civilizations in this early period. So many of the first civilizations formed in river valleys. So we're going to be analyzing four major early civilizations in Afro-Eurasia. The first being on the banks of the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, which will refer to this civilization as Mesopotamia. In the civilization that formed on the banks of the Nile River, ancient Egypt. Then we'll move over to South Asia, to the Indus River Valley, the Indus River Valley civilization, appropriately named. And then finally, over in East Asia, we'll spend some time along the banks of the Huang He River with the formation of ancient China, the Shang, and eventually the Zhou dynasties in China. We will also spend a little bit of time in the Americas thinking about two early civilizations, the Olmecs, who are the mother culture of later civilizations and empires, such as the Maya and the Aztecs, and also the Chavin, who are the mother civilization of a much later empire, the Incas. So one of the other big questions we need to be able to answer is, what is a limitation with utilizing that term civilization? So we've put our various human communities on a spectrum that we've studied so far in this class. We have hunting and gathering societies. We have pastoral nomadic societies who move around but have domesticated animals. We have agricultural societies who are more sedentary, who have both domesticated plants and animals. And then now we can add another form of human community to this list, civilizations. Again, that embrace all of those various characteristics, meaning they have advanced cities, complex institutions, a form of writing or record keeping, specialized workers, and advanced technology. Now, one of the problems that sort of arose throughout world history is people oftentimes divided then societies into those that were moving towards civilization, or oftentimes referred to as achieving progress, and those that were still living as hunter-gatherers or pastoral nomadic people. And the problem with this is that sort of there's this implied, characteristic to civilizations that they are somehow more civilized, more advanced, or in some respects, better than uncivilized people. And a good example are the Greeks. So the Greeks had a term for people who were not Greek. they called them barbarians. And it sort of connotes this sort of negative aspect to people who are living as pastoral nomads and hunter-gatherers. Well, we very much want to avoid making this mistake in world history of sort of simplifying the world into like good and civilized and bad, the uncivilized barbarians. As we learned from the last video, pastoral nomadic people and hunter-gatherers played a critical role in world history in terms of the transmission of ideas, technologies. And so it's just inappropriate to think about world history in these oversimplified terms of just civilized being good and uncivilized being bad. So as a result of watching this video, you should be able to answer these two big questions. What is a civilization? What are the 5 critical characteristics of a civilization? And then what is a limitation with using the term civilization? As always, thanks for watching.